to write the Sophia Code was really showing up, and that whole process. So, can you give some insight into what that process was like and how long that took and the experience of it?
I don't know why. I just feel very emotional right now. It took me 7 years to channel the Sophia Code because every word that was channeled had to work on me first.
Mhm.
And when the vision that I share in the preface of the Sophia Code was given to me to, channel it, to write this book for the Divine Mother, I was a broken person. I was shattered by what I had survived. And so every teaching, every divine genome activation, every step closer towards the Ascended Masters, I had to believe that I was worthy of it, that I was worthy of the gift of being given. I had to rebuild my self-esteem, and I had to allow these extremely powerful crystalline teachings to move me from such extreme trauma into a place of deep reconciliation with myself. I wouldn't say, um, I went into a space of serenity in the process because I'm still working on that. But what I have managed to do is to come into the full connection with my higher self and learn how to say yes to embodying that higher self consciousness just a little bit more every day. And I spent a lot of time, sometimes between 12 to 14 hours a day, in a writing room in meditation,
Mm.
yoga,
Wow.
listening, writing, rewriting, because every time the teachings would come in, I could only accept them as much as my consciousness was ready to receive them.
Right.
And then as they would work on me, then the Ascended Masters would come back and they'd be like, okay, and now here's the next like download on what we've given you. And so there were many versions of the Sophia Code until I knew it had crystallized into how I could best serve it. And the last year of writing it happened actually at Mount Shasta, California, which is where I received the vision originally to channel the book. And so that last year, I also was constantly in ceremony. I had a home by the national forest with a view of the mountain, and I would go out. I would make offerings every day, pray at my medicine wheel, pray at all the altars that I had created, um, do water ceremonies. It was just constantly hiking in the mountains to connect with the Ascended Masters, connect with Telos, which is the Lemurian city of light within Mount Shasta. The people of Telos are extremely powerful and grounded. They help me really ground what a cosmic transmission the Sophia Code is. So it was, I was uh, eating in a very strict diet, drinking a lot of water from the mountain. Like when I left Mount Shasta, it was after the Sophia Code was published, it was like coming back to earth or something. Like I was just so focused in that heavenly realm with that mountain. It was a real powerful journey to go on. These Ascended Masters are just so available. They're ready and waiting for us to believe that we're worthy of them being spiritual guides for us.
Mm.
And so I find that overcoming the worthiness factor is often the biggest piece for light workers, and just believing that a master of light would actually be interested in our daily human life. And the truth is, they absolutely are. And Mother Mary, who we're focusing on this year, is one of the most amazing spiritual guides for that, because she shares in the Sophia Code, like, everything about your daily life is important to me. It matters to me. Isis
Mm.
talks about that too in the Sophia
Mm.
Code, because where else does ascension happen? It happens in our relationships. It happens in our family. It happens in our businesses. It happens in how we show up every day to life, whether we show up or not. And so I think people have a skewed idea about what the Ascended Masters are interested in. They're interested in us and waking us up within our daily life, not extracting us from our daily life, because
Mm.
this is where we make the greatest impact.
Yeah.
And so We created a curriculum called the Stargate One curriculum, and it walks you through every chapter of the Sophia Code, multiple classes, and it teaches you how to kind of simultaneously let go and allow these Ascended Masters to step in and start guiding you and mentoring you in beyond your understanding, and how to also identify the signs and the practices that you can just easily incorporate into your daily life, like creating an altar that you visually connect with of like, hey, that's my intention for today. It's sovereignty or empowerment, or I want to feel closer to Isis or Mother Mary. And, you just place a picture there, you place a statement or intention. We are at a pivotal time in human history for our species. Most of our species is in a state of amnesia, and it cannot remember how many actual resets we've gone through, how many global disasters, how much our species has been enslaved and persecuted and oppressed. And so the Ascended Masters, they come in to this matrix. They live these exceptional avatar level lifetimes to mirror back to us our true sovereign potential. But there's only so much they can do because in one lifetime, because there has to be a large enough collective awakening for us to break free and quantum leap to a new paradigm of liberation from these unseen yet extremely insidious forces that continue to do what they're doing to humanity. And so the Ascended Masters want our sovereignty. They want for us to take our awakening seriously and to consider that, religion has attempted to separate us from our divinity very purposefully for a very long time, because it is our divinity that has the power to wake up within this matrix and to decide to unplug from all of this programming that's keeping us separated from one another and separated from our creative power to birth a new paradigm based in sovereignty, based in light, and based in our true potential. And so they specialize in how to recover from trauma. And then also, of course, once you stabilize from the collective trauma and the viral programming, you have the opportunity to actually take in their teachings and start to embody your higher self, embody a different, your divine consciousness, which is like an operating system that over time, you're going to unplug from every last illusion that you've been plugged into with the matrix programming. So that's what they're all about. But they can't do it for us. And that's why they're Ascended Masters. That's why I only work with these particular Ascended Masters, because they are all about sovereignty and all about us doing our own work, opening our own hearts, taking this journey. Everybody's individual journey counts. And if enough hearts awaken, if enough of us accept that we are sovereign and divine, we will no longer need these oppressive experiences for our spiritual awakening. Humanity is unconsciously addicted to being oppressed to stimulate its spiritual awakening.
Is there a critical mass percentage? I feel like I've heard about that. Is that true?
I feel that very deeply. I mean, I'm not going to throw out like some random number, but I have seen in many visions that, and I believe it's happening in many ways right now. I really do. I think technology has allowed a certain cross section of the population to awaken in an accelerated way. I think it's a bit of a hot mess because there's a lot of people searching and not really knowing where to look. And
there's a restructure happening within their lives. Whenever when there's a transition, it's like things fall away and have to be rebuilt. And that's the process.
Yeah, there's a lot of chaos right now in that kind of, like you said, the melting down of disengaging. I mean, what happened over the past few years was really surprising. That level of oppression and lockdowns actually caused a lot of people to start railing red pills on YouTube in the middle of the night. And so we actually do have a large cross-section of humanity that is waking up.
I want you to elaborate a little bit on the amnesia.
There's been a really intense interstellar war over the future of humanity that's been raging for quite some time on this planet. And it's the need is real for us to start envisioning what a truly sovereign paradigm of truly awakened beings, awakened to the truth of their divinity. Because if you're awakened to the truth of your divinity, there's nothing you can't do.
Do you know what is happening where people sell their soul and why they do and how they do it?
Well, a lot of them end up having to give into the blackmail that they walked right into. I know from direct experience that there are very real satanic rituals and very real programs that go far beyond what anyone, most of the public could ever understand, directed by intelligence agencies and interfacing with a civilian cover-up of trafficking homes, like the one that I was constantly shuttled back and forth from as a cover-up for where I was really being taken every night. It's a lot for people to take in when, here's the other piece, where the powers that be are constantly traumatizing the population.
If you like this clip and you want to hear the whole episode, click at the bottom of your screen.